Did you have input in building this show? Like, did you have input in Danny and Mark being added to it?
Oh, there's the question. You know, it's funny, Brandon. You're the first guy to ask me that question. Yes, that's right. That's why I get 2% of their salaries. No, no. So as Mark said, look, I tried to get Mark to be a part of, the Carton Show from day one, because I was looking for a radio guy, a guy that had played, obviously, a guy that, for lack of a better comparison, I don't mean this, in a negative way at all, to be my boomer for all the success that Boomer and I had at the Fan
Yeah.
on the radio, and Mark filled that, every step of the way. So the fact that it took 2.5 years to make that happen, all good because it finally happened. And, they approached me, Fox did, about Danny. And I, listened to some of his radio stuff, saw his appearances on First Things First, watched some of him filling in for Colin. And to me, the best example I had for who I thought Danny was a younger version of Evan Roberts on The Fan. And that's a great compliment because I think Evan's one of the great radio guys. I am Dan before I was really familiar with his work. And I think Danny would agree to this and Mark would. You meet so many people in your life and within 30 seconds, is that my kind of guy or not? Is that someone that I just, normal person, we're going to get along, no ego, self-deprecating. And I think the day I met Danny, and I think Mark would say the same thing, I knew when I went to bed that night that we'd be able to work together. And then once you have that part of the equation solved, everything else is easy. So I just felt that from the minute I met him. And I remember I went home and my wife said, well, what'd you think about Danny? And I'm not using any other names here, and don't press me. I'm not going to give you a name. But I go, much better than the last guy.
Well, that is damning with faint praise. Just because I know what you think of some of the last guys.
Yeah. So, part of it to me was, in the first 2 years that I was at Fox, and Fox would tell you this as well, there was a lot of revolving chairs next to me. And there were days I literally did not know who I was working with from one day to the next. And the only way I think to have any level of legitimate success is to have consistency. And if there's a different co-host every day of the week, there's no consistency to that. So I was just really, really grateful that A, there was going to be consistency, and that B, because I already knew Mark and I got along and liked each other, I was just happy that Danny was a normal person. And we could just talk like normal guys talk to each other. And it's been great ever since. So I feel blessed about that.